this and this and that and these guys, and they're all smiling and they're all looking at the camera because this is the big entry where we're all and hey everybody, and welcome back to Rugby Wrap Up and this week's What Are the Odds? Your Major League Rugby sports betting show starring WWE legend and Fox Business analyst John Bradshaw Layfield, his gambling guru, the best sports bettor ever, the Philly Godfather, and our gift of rugby, Gift Egbelu of the Gift Time Rugby Network, host of the Grow Rugby Show and director of the HBCU Rugby Classic. Guys, another great weekend, and we made WATO What Are the Odds history with our first Golden Schnoz, a 5-0 record going to the one and only Godfather for sniffing out all the wins, the Golden Schnoz on What Are the Odds. Godfather, a few words.
It's just too easy. That's simple.
Somebody call the police. That man just stole the show. That man stole the show. Somebody call the Philly PD.
Oh, man. Oh, you know what? Every now and then, Layfield, you're good. You're good. You were good there. You're good there. But good, it doesn't cut it when you're 5-0 and perfect, Godfather.
I mean, I tell people all the time, I lead a charmed life. You guys follow me on Twitter. I might tweet it out 3 times a day how I lead a charmed life. It's about leading a charmed life. That's all it is.
And that wasn't a question. You make a statement to put yourself over, and then you just stop and expect somebody else to start talking. You are a terrible host. You don't make statements and then just stop. You ask questions is what you're supposed to do. You lead people to something. You know, say, Godfather, you're perfect. They're a real handsome man.
Great calves.
I concur, John. I concur.
Thank you. Thank you. Somebody called the police. That man stole the show.
All right. Things are getting fuzzy, so let's keep going here. Godfather, Toronto went into New England, both desperate for a win. You were the one to see that Toronto might not win but get the points.
I mean, they had the better point differential on the year. And I talked about it last week. Boston's a great place, a lot of heritage, a lot of pride. The Celtics, Red Sox, and, of course, the Patriots. But this Free Jacks team, even though they got the win, they couldn't cover. Good teams win, but great teams cover. We picked on a great team last week, Toronto.
And fortunately, John, you were the lone selector of the New England Free Jacks in this match because the three of us took Toronto, and this was the start of your long fall down that cliff of the wooden spoon. Hey, John Layfield, you get the wooden spoon.
Can't hear you. I have an internet bad connection. I can't hear you at all.
1-4, John Layfield last week. That's 1-4. Gift, you were respectable 3-2. I was 4-1 again, second week in a row at 4-1. And John, you were 1-4.
They froze Ted Williams' brain. Okay, that's all you need to know about Boston. That's all you need to know about Boston. And this is where the New England team comes from. They freeze brains up there.
Gift, you want to gloat a little bit in front of John from your Waco state in Cancun?
By the way, that is his private house.
Yes, we like to keep the big things quiet. You know, we don't want anybody to know too much of the location.
You gotta watch the paparazzi out there.
There's eyes everywhere. There's eyes everywhere.
Cancun, Ohio.
But with Toronto, I mean, you've been watching them the last few weeks. They've been getting stronger and stronger. New England, and on the other hand, has been slipping a lot. I'm still mad at them for losing to New York.
Why they didn't go for a drop goal when you're down 14-12? Come on. You're going for the try. You only need 3 points, guys. 3 points, eh?
Sloppy game. So, I mean, for whatever it's worth, they got what they needed to. And most importantly, help me get a extra point on this. And that's all that matters in this. Because now we're doing points, not wins. For now.
Right. And you slaughtered John Layfield.
I don't take pride in trying to demolish good people while they're down, all right? All right. Emphasis on good people. Man, I'm ready for you, though. Right?
My job.
Before you go to the next game, I heard there was rumors there was a Whitey Bulger sighting at the game, so maybe the game was a little funny.
John, do you have a side story for us?
Got my action figure here, and I'm going to come back this week is what it is. And by the way, you are Arnold Rothstein is who you are. The guy who fixed the 1919 World Series.
Sorry, apologies. But let's segue to your only win of the week. You picked against your home state and got your own win.
And I'm in Texas right now. I am in Texas right now. God bless Texas. I just don't think Houston is a very good team, and they're a tough team. They played really good at midway of the season, as a season is now. They're just not. They're just erratic, and they just not have the ability to score very much. And unfortunately, I had to pick against them.
What about the people of Houston that witness you pick against their state?
I'm not picking against my state.
You did pick against Houston, which means you picked against the state.
No, because what they did was they brought in foreign players, like from Oklahoma, like from Mississippi, foreigners into the state of Texas. And we need a wall to keep people from Oklahoma out. And since we don't have that wall to keep people out and cross that Red River, from them crossing into the promised land, from that wasteland they call Oklahoma, now you get a bunch of players from Oklahoma playing rugby. I've got to bet against them because they're not really Texans. I bet for Texans.
Let's move on. Let's not drag you through the mud on this one anymore. Let's drag you through the next one. Gift, Los Angeles was laying 10 in SIDITTY New Orleans, a.k.a. Atlanta, and Atlanta wins. Gift. Did those Aussies melt in the SIDITTY New Orleans heat?
I don't know what any of what you just said was.
I said everything that you said last week.
I was the only person who was correct about what the outcome of this game was. Not the point differential. The point differential is everybody gets the point differential. We're talking about wins. We're talking about wins. All right. I told you, you're not going into the South in the end of May, coming from this quote, quote, perfect California weather, going 3 hours out of your time zone and then come out with a win, please. And Atlanta dominated in it. I'm very happy for them to do this. Yes, not only did the Aussies melt, they dissolved. All right. They just turned into puddle.
You know, Gift, if the Philly Godfather was undefeated, that means that he probably won that game too.
We don't talk about points in this one. We're just talking about overall wins.
But the whole
I gotta give
point of the show is to talk about the points.
We got to give credit, though. He actually predicted it like 3-4 weeks ago. He said LA would come into Atlanta and they would lose the game. And he was absolutely right. So I give him credit for that. I give him some flub, some SIDITTY, some schematics, whatever the hell he's doing down there. I give it all to him. He can have it all.
He circled it on John's Mayan calendar before the season, actually. Yeah.
He did. He said the boomerang would come back from Australia. And these boys from the mountain of Uluru are not going to do well in the SIDITTY.
And John, not do well is what happened to you all last week, including this match, because you did pick LA -10. I mean, that was really a dumb pick.
Here's a picture of me and you at the game. Okay? This is you. Talking to this stuffed animal, as cute as it is, was as fun as talking to you on Sunday, and it impaired my brain. I almost lost the ability to read. That's the reason I went 1-4, because I was talking to you. Apparently, the Aussies don't like to come to the East Coast. They go to the East Coast, they get beat by Rugby United New York. They come to the East Coast, they get beat by Atlanta. I thought the backs of LA were going to be too much for Atlanta. It wasn't. They had a chance late, but Atlanta is the real deal, the beast of the East, the reason they're in first place.
Godfather, unlike John, you don't have to look in retrospect and lick your wounds. You picked this one accurately.
And I also said they had a chance to win the game outright, if you guys remember. But Atlanta put the shrimp on the Barbie, and the Aussies got fried, and that was basically what happened. They're just a quicker, younger, hungrier team, and LA might have taken them a little bit for granted, and they got whooped, man. They lost as a 10-point favorite, which is incredible.
This is Luke White on the top of your Voodoo New York Mets totem pole. You got him the red card with your Voodoo and cost me a match.
It is worth it for not being able to take these flubs and understand the schematics, recognize Voodoo life.
The Luke White red card, Voodoo red card from Gift Egbelu cost LA this match, and I think it'll come back to haunt Atlanta at the end of the season. Austin, John, another Texas team going into Utah. And Austin was laying 5, and they got walloped 45-24. And Godfather, the Mountain people, used schematics to avoid the flub.
It was just too much for that tough Austin defense. They couldn't hang with it. That offense in Utah is just tough. I think they're just a better team, and people are taking this team for granted. And they're going to make some noise towards the end of the season.
I completely agreed with you and got this match correct as well, Godfather. But John and Gift did not get it correct. John, your influence was based on what? The mountains being blocked, or what was it? What was it all?
Yeah, if you listen to George Mallory in his 1924 journal going into the Himalayas, when he got to base camp, he talked about how the mountains block out certain things. And that's what happened here. It happened in 1924. It's almost 100 years ago. That's no coincidence whatsoever. And Austin goes up there, and you have this George Mallory curse, and they get blocked out by the mountain people. They've been giving up 15 points a game, and all of a sudden they give up a ton of points. Utah, I think, is an underrated team.
You know what? That George Mallory account is riveting. It's great reading after you watch this show, ladies and gentlemen.
He climbed Mount Everest, by the way. He did. He just died on the way down.
Well,
He did.
Hold on one second. Can we have a moment of silence for George Mallory tumbling down that hill?
Somebody pushed him. It was all planned.
Somebody pushed him.
Yep, that's what I heard too.
Gift, what was your rationale in this match about not picking the mountain people?
I expected gentrified LA to be able to suck it up again, but I should have known better. They got 10 days off. Their defense is starting to get more and more exposed. They still have no offense. Of course, at some point in time, you reach a certain altitude, you can't breathe well, and you get exposed and just demolished.
Just for the folks tuning in, just to clarify with our rugby wrap-up Rosetta Stone, to translate your hieroglyphics, gentrified LA is what you refer to as Austin, whereas SIDITTY LA is San Diego.
SIDITTY LA is San Diego. Gentrified LA is Austin. Absolutely.
And SIDITTY New Orleans is Atlanta.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. We can move on now.
What is the equation that gets you gentrified LA to Austin?
So basically, people just move from this place to this place.
If you want to put it in layman's terms.
You know, speaking of moving, Godfather, you're able to move around because you have a whole fleet of cars, right? You how many cars would you say you have?
Over 50.
Over 50. And when you're driving one of those cars, do you have to go through the inconvenience of waiting to pay cash on a toll?
You have to be nuts not to have an easy pass. I mean, you got to
on every car, right? Every single car.
Yeah, you got to have them in every car. What are you going to stop and pay? And then you got to get changed, and it takes 10 minutes, and there's no one in the toll booth. I mean, you got to be a little inefficient.
Or a moron. You have to be a moron not to have easy pass.
Your words. They're not my words. They're your words.
An absolute moron not to have easy pass in your car. If you have 1, 2, 3 cars, you have 3 easy passes. You're not switching it back and forth with somebody, right?
Yeah,
if you get this, right? I mean, that SIDITTY car owner thing is stupid, right? So, John, why were you late for the match on Saturday in D.C.? Was it because you had to sit in the toll booth line because you only have one easy pass and your wife had it?
No, that's not what happened.
Oh, it's not what happened.
My horse. My horse.
Damn you, Layfield!
My horse ate my easy pass. Is what happened. Okay, I brought him from Texas to DC. I've got him in my garage, in my yard, and my horse ate my easy pass. That's what happened. He fell in his oat bag and he ate my easy pass. My horse did that.
You know what? It's a common occurrence, and it's more frequent than people think. And you know what? I owe you an apology, John.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Godfather and Gift, when it's 50 degrees outside and raining, do you go out in a polo shirt and just sit there freezing? Do you do that?
A couple too many knocks to the head there. Something's going on up top. Something got rattled.
I dressed like this for about 20 years. Okay, so the polo shirt is an upgrade.
You know what? We're going to lay off you for now, John, because it was a tough week for you. You got the wooden spoon. We're going to take a quick break and come back, regroup, and try to get through the next segment with predictions that are going to make you a ton of money, making up for John's losses last week. We'll be right back.
Been blind since I was 4, and I've never seen a beer commercial or a beer label. None of that stuff influences me. I drink beer because of the taste. And my beer's Pabst Blue Ribbon. It has the taste and the flavor.
What do you think's on the label?
I think there's a naked woman riding on a unicorn, jumping over fire. Oh, that's good beer.
If you're in New York City and want to watch some great rugby, have some great food, and some great times, go to the world's best rugby pub, the Pig and Whistle on West 36th Street. We're back. Gift down in Cancun, Ohio. John in SIDITTY, D.C. And the Philly Godfather from Philadelphia. And, of course, I am in New York City. And we've got Austin going into Houston in the Texas Derby Cup Part 2. The visitors are laying 6. John, you're from this state. This has got to be something that tears you apart because you have no problem picking against either team.
Listen, I'm actually in the state right now. You didn't listen to the first segment. Okay, apparently you were busy talking or busy not asking questions and feeding people absolute statements that they cannot answer. I'm in the great state right now. I've got 2 of my favorite sons, Austin, the state capital, Hook 'em Horns, home of Run, Ricky, Run, Earl, Run. I'm right next to Tyler, Texas, home of the Earl, the Tyler Rose, Earl Campbell. And now I've got a team playing Houston. So it's very simple. A Texas team is going to win.
Godfather, when somebody is such a weasel that they can't pick on a picking show, what's the default pick for them? The home team?
He's not picking Houston. I know John's not picking Houston.
That's true. That's true. I'm not picking.
But he doesn't have the BALLS to say what team he's picking.
No, I was making a little joke, you dummy. I was saying Texas team is going to win. It was a joke. It was a lighthearted moment.
Why do you get so hurtful?
I'm going with the state capital.
Albuquerque? Gift, give us some objective viewpoint on this.
Houston has lost my vote for life of this season. No, Austin's come back. Gentrified LA is going to be taking this one all day. I'm with John on it.
We're 2 Southern people. We have a connection here, Gift. Come on, give me the hook 'em. I said I was going to be in the gold mine.
That's fair. That's fair. Hook 'em horns.
Yep.
Hook 'em horns.
Yep.
Horns.
John, how about this?
That's Hawaii.
Oh. Godfather, these 2, while they're hooking horns and whatever they want to do with that, which were you going with, Austin?
I mean, Houston has lost 6 of their last 7. Probably the worst team in rugby right now. Austin's got a great defense, but they can't score. Give me Houston +6 here. We're going to see some life. Last week, they kind of crapped the bed, but this week, I don't think Austin can put up enough points to cover the spread. That's a lot of points. It's -6. Give me Houston. Give me Houston.
You see what he did there.
Wow.
You see what he did there. Yep. He was fishing. He was trolling.
You just knocked me down here. Now I don't know what to do. I'm coming off the mat. I have Austin. I'm all happy, and I hear you say that, and I had to look twice to see that it wasn't Gift speaking. No offense, Gift. And
a lot of points. Austin had problems scoring that time.
Is this April Fool's Day? I'm going with Steve Austin. Lee Majors, $6 million man.
That's the Steve Austin you're going with? How about Stone Cold?
No.
He's a Texan.
He wasn't bionic. Okay? Lee Majors was bionic. Lee Majors, also named after the military, and was married to Farrah Fawcett.
I'm glad all 3 is on Austin. I'm fading you guys big time.
So you're going with Houston, and the 3 of us are going with Austin, which means he's going to win, and the 3 of us are going to lose. The next one is tough on a lot of levels because for the folks at home trying to figure this out, it is SIDITTY New Orleans going into New Orleans.
The real New Orleans. I want you to emphasize the real New Orleans.
SIDITTY New Orleans -3 in New Orleans.
You know what? People keep talking about how Atlanta is supposed to be the best team. But you know what? The 2 games that they've played against New Orleans have been at home. But you're coming into the gold mine now. You're entering to our zone, all right? New Orleans doesn't lose at home. And on top of that, this young, fresh, whatever team, NOLA all day.
John, SIDITTY versus New Orleans.
This looks like the ultimate trap game for SIDITTY. They had a great emotional win this past week. They're going down to play NOLA and down in the gold mine. And NOLA plays very well at home. They need this win. I'm actually going with Mr. Gift Egbelu here and going with NOLA. That's right. NOLA. In the gold mine.
But Godfather, again, just because I know that your eyes are glazing over. SIDITTY, there's 2 SIDITTYs. SIDITTY San Diego. San Diego is SIDITTY LA. This SIDITTY, which John just referred to just as SIDITTY, which makes it even more confusing, is Atlanta. SIDITTY New Orleans is Atlanta. And who are you looking at in this one?
I don't know what the hell you just said, Matt, but I like New Orleans here. I like them at home. I like NOLA at home. Definitely a letdown spot for Atlanta after that big win against, maybe the best team in rugby, LA. But yeah, it's definitely a letdown spot. As a betting man, this is a great spot to take the plus points on.
Oof. Atlanta proved themselves going up to Starfire and beating Seattle with no problem. They proved that it can win on the road. This is where New Orleans always ruins logic. They come in, they play kind of sloppy, but the other team starts playing sloppy. It's that heat, that humidity. I'm going to take New Orleans and regret it. I'm going to regret it. That's my gut feeling. Atlanta is this is the what we find out. Are Atlanta who we thought they are match? Okay, that's what this one is. Next one up, John's DC, his fourth team, going into New England. New England -5.
This was actually the tough one because DC I thought was going to be at least a home dog most of the time, and they definitely disappointed. And as much as I don't like New England's defense, I think they're going to try and get a little bit of a step up with this after the Toronto game.
Godfather?
I mean, you got two teams here with similar records. I think New England has one more win on the season. They're at a +1 point differential, but DC's at -60 in that department. You got revenge from earlier in the season. I think DC smacked New England. 5 points is a lot of points, but I like New England here at home.
John, the Sabre to the Old Glory ball?
Yes. Old Glory did not look good against Rugby United. I thought that they would play them tight. They didn't. Rugby United played a phenomenal game of rugby down in D.C., which you were betting against your host when you were there, drinking their beverages, betting against the people that were hosting you.
You wore the guy's jacket, and you're picking against his team.
I didn't pick against his team.
You did so. You just picked New England.
No, I said they played a bad game of rugby last
right
week.
Right now. That's all gone.
No, you are not listening.
You're picking. Oh, so you're picking DC this week?
Yes.
Okay.
And here's the rationale behind it. Look, DC is either going to go up there and play a tight game and either be within the points, or they're going to win the game, or they're going to get blown out. I think it's one of those options. When you're playing for pride,
there's a confident pick for you, ladies and gentlemen. Bank that. Put the bank on that one.
Pride, when you're coming off a loss like they had, they're either going to respond really well or they're going to respond really poorly.
Right.
And I think they're going to respond really well and play a tight game. I think they'll cover the points. I think they'll probably win the game.
Okay. I can't disagree with you more. Old Glory is missed some key components, and I think New England at home is proven to be wicked smart at home. They're going to win this one outright. Utah going into Seattle, the Mountain People gift going into Seattle, which is one of your pivotal losses this season, picking Seattle after you destroyed them all season long. And you picked over Atlanta, SIDITTY New Orleans.
Absolutely. Yeah. It made me make sure that I can solidify whenever I make the decisions here, is that whenever you go into Sunfire Stadium, it means nothing.
Or Starfire Stadium.
I say Sunfire because you haven't gotten a win worthy enough for me to be given that, the proper name.
You are good. Bounce back of the year right there, ladies and gentlemen. Continue.
Utah, hey, I'll give you this one. You guys had me a little bit questioning the Mountain People, but Mountain People just move over to other mountains. Enjoy your altitude. Utah with the overall 4.
John?
I have no idea what Gift said. None. Sunfire, Starfire, I understand there's some underperforming here, and you can't become a sun or a star, one of the two, but you're in the solar system, I guess. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's high up there, and Gift prop sounds high right now. So I don't know. He has a cat named Smokey. I'm going with the Mountain People. I think they're going to block out Starfire, Sunfire, and they're going to block out Seattle. I think they're a better team. And I don't think it matters where they play.
Godfather.
I mean, they played earlier in the season, and surprisingly, Seattle held Utah to under 20 points. And that was the first time they were held under 20 points all year. Definitely some revenge for Utah here. Seattle matches up well with them.
Do you take the home dog, Godfather?
You got to take the home dog here, +4.
Whoa, you're taking Seattle.
They beat them earlier in the year. I don't think they win, but I think it's a close game.
I got to ask you a question, Godfather, and we really need you to be honest. Who got to you? Who got to you this week?
Listen, I like fading guys.
You got Seattle and the Sabre. You're picking Seattle and the SaberCats this week, Godfather.
That sometimes the hardest bets to make are the easiest ones that cash. Remember that.
Okay, I got to go against the Godfather here, though, and I'm probably going to regret it, but no way in hell the Mountain Men don't win by at least 8 points in this match. San Diego is going to play Toronto at home in Atlanta. San Diego -4. Gift.
San Diego has to cross over 3 time zones to go to Atlanta and play. I see what San Diego's been doing. I know they like to select violence. I get it. I gave it to them last week. Toronto in this on the points.
I'm taking the home dog in Atlanta, Ontario. The home dog that should be in Toronto that happens to be here because they've been kicked out of Canada. So I'm taking the home dog because both teams are not that good.
I'm going to look right into the lens here and say you two have just made the dumbest picks of the season here. San Diego is on fire, and they might win the West. Godfather.
I don't like Canadian bacon. So I'm taking San Diego -4. I mean, they're on the road. They got to travel. It might affect them. But like you said, they're playing some of the best rugby they've played all season. And Toronto average at best. I'll lay the 4 points on the road.
They're going to take second place. And because of that, the top 2 teams from the West and the East play each other in a playoff game. They might beat LA. But on that note, we are out of time. So I want to thank my esteemed colleagues, Mr. John Bradshaw Layfield, WWE Hall of Famer, and Gift Egbelu, the gift to mankind, and Yogi Berra of Rugby, and of course, the man that has proven that he is the best goddamn sports bettor ever, the Philly Godfather. Thank you, gentlemen, and we can't wait to see you next week. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, please check out our other segments, including our Major League Rugby show, our Global Rugby Recap, Martial Law, the Zack Attack, and please sign up for our American Red Cross Rugby Wrap-Up Blood Donor Team.